What's poppin', world? Back at it again with another video for y'all. Yet once again, y'all tapped in with the Head of the Game podcast. Got another controversial discussion that we got to talk about. So without further ado, y'all ready to title? Let's get right into it. Now this is a sensitive subject. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I guess depending on the person, I guess at least for me, it's a multi-layered premise on why I've come to this conclusion, right? And I'm about to break all this down to y'all so y'all can kind of grasp my perspective on why I came to this point of view, right? So this is why I feel like, and now this is a message to my black people in particular, but by and large, just minorities in general, because I feel like, and y'all may agree or disagree with this, but I feel like if it don't happen to black people, I feel like any other race is deemed as a minority, it shouldn't, the umbrella should cover y'all too, right? Now I'm not gonna say all in every situation. There are isolated incidents, but by and large, if it's not affecting black people, it shouldn't have really affected any other race, because anytime something comes drastic, it hits us the hardest. You can look up all the analytics and statistics, but this is not what this video is about. Part of it, but not the entire part, right? So this is why I would advise not only myself, but other people to vote independent this year, right? Now I'm about to tell you the pros and the cons of why I feel like what could happen out of voting independent, right? Let me start off with the cons. We may take ourselves out of an equation for that could affect the economy, the nation, and we could have had a say in it going in the other direction, right? By not involving ourselves. So I'm not sitting up there saying not to vote, right? Because when you look at voting and the history of voting, especially in this country, black people should be the first ones to the polls just because of the generations before that fight for our rights to be able to do so, right? But to actually juxtapose on why I add that into voting independent is only because I feel like the jig is up. You feel me? Like, black people been lied to. It's not about, like, racism plays a part in it. Classism is the new racism. Let me put it to y'all like that. So what I would advise black people, minorities in particular, stop investing and putting your dollar towards places that on the people on the receiving end, because all you see is symbolism and you're not seeing the person on the receiving end of that symbol, and you're endorsing something that may be playing against your people's interests, right? I'm not gonna get into all that. I'm pretty sure y'all can fill in the blanks, but I will say the cons is definitely taking ourselves out of the equation of the voting block and stuff like that, and placing it in a situation where our vote is being placed in a situation where we're not involving ourselves. It's kind of like a protest. It's protesting not the voting system, but maybe the people that's running the country, right? Because you got Democrats, Republicans, conservative, liberal, all these buzzwords and stuff like that. But when it's deeper than that, it's really the have and have-nots. And the have and have-nots stem from generations ago. That's why they can masquerade racism with classism, right? Oh, it's not about race because there's successful black people, you feel me? And they're able to take away the conversation for the general statistics and look at isolated incidents and try to justify or debunk the position of what's really going on, right? Real spin master stuff, you feel me? But you got to be aware of it. If you know, you know. But the benefit, the pros to this, right? It may not be this generation. It may not be the generation after that. It may be the following generation that might be able to reap the benefits of consistently reminding. Because the only way that, in my opinion, I feel like Republican, Democrat at this point is a power play. You feel me? It's two parties fighting for power, not for the people. I feel like either way, the people that's on the bottom or on the receiving end or on the bottom of the food chain, they're gonna get it the worst, regardless of who running the country. That's my honest belief, right? And I feel like the only way to resolve that is to get them fighting amongst themselves, right? They're fighting amongst themselves, but they're really on the same team because they're fighting for the same thing, which is power. They don't care about the people. Once the people revolt, I'm not talking about some crazy revolution, but you're just a protest of being like, hey, we don't support either side. Y'all do whatever y'all want with this country. We're going to sit up there. We're going to inspire. We're going to amplify ourselves and govern ourselves under the law of the United States. But by and large, we applying a different kind of pressure. We taking y'all metrics, y'all statistics, y'all way of life and stuff like that. You feel me? We're going to invest in ourselves, and stuff like that. And voting independent, I just feel like, maybe in my lifetime or not, it might be an independent president elected. You feel me? I feel like it's trending towards more ideas that's going outside the box. Everything is kind of trending away from what's traditional and what's the norm. And I feel like things are taking a new complexion, right? So that's my message, man. I just feel like black people need to be respected in politics, in policies and laws. All this injustice and stuff like that. And I don't like calling it social issues. I just feel like that's just too soft of a context. It's a real problem going on. I feel like the only way to fix it is to understand what instruments you have at your disposal. You feel me? Going out, marching, stuff like that, protesting, sure, you can add that, but I think there's different forms of protest. You feel me? And I feel like we could do the biggest protest in history, voting independent, you feel me, and swinging their elections. That's why do you think the black vote is so powerful, right? The black vote is so powerful not because it's powerful as a standalone, hence minority. We have the minimal influence, but we have enough influence to determine enough weight to tip the scales out of who's really fighting in between each other, which is the powers, the people at power and stuff like that. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on that. If y'all got any opinions or things y'all would like to add to the conversation, go ahead, leave that below. With that being said, comment, like, subscribe. More videos on the way. I'm gone.